Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we are going to talk about a book in a series that I have finally returned to after kind of leaving off for 2 to 3 years. I think I haven't read the series for about 2 or 3 years. So I talked about it earlier this year. I wanted to get back into the Witcher series. So we're going to talk about The Time of Contempt, which is technically book two in the Witcher series, but the way that it was suggested to read it was to read the first two books, which are like short stories. So I had read those and then the first book and then now this one. So I'm going to try to finish up the series either this year and then partway probably into next year. Because I don't know, I'm going to maybe do like a book every other month is what I'm thinking. And oh, you may be wondering, so Sin, did you go back and reread the other books to like refresh your memory? No, I didn't. I didn't do that. Why? I don't know. I played the Witcher video games, and a lot of that comes straight from the books. So, I know the gist of the story. It's a tale as old as time in fantasy. There is a person, there is a girl in this. Her name is Ciri. She is 14 years old in this specific book, and there's a whole prophecy about her. And then also, it's very political because she is the last child of this queen who had been killed. Everything is in turmoil right now. The kingdoms are at war. There's this one kingdom in particular, the Nilfgaardian Empire, that they want to kind of take over everything. And so there's backroom deals and just treachery and all kinds of stuff going on. And then you have like the sorcerers, and they're up to their own BS, backstabbing each other and doing all kinds of stuff. So, and amidst all this political and empirical turmoil, you have Yennefer trying to get Ciri to this school where she'll be safe, where she can go to learn. And so Ciri's a witcher. If you don't really know what a witcher is, it's kind of described as like an elite class of like warrior priests. And they think that maybe they came from the druids or something like that. And also it's like a mutation in the genetics that causes one to be a witcher. And so Yennefer is trying to get Ciri away. Like there have been rumors that have been spread all over that Ciri is dead, which is good because they don't want these people coming after her, but yet they are still pursued because some people do know that she's alive. So you have Yennefer and Ciri trying to outrun whoever it is that chases them. And then you have Geralt too, that just wants Ciri to be safe and wants her to grow up, and he's very protective of her, and basically she's like his child for the most part, per se. This is where you come into the story, and a good chunk of it is politics. If you're not super into that, I mean, a lot of fantasy is politics, but this one's a little more blatantly so. At some point too, Ciri's young, and she doesn't, I think, really get the full scope of why people are after her and this, that, and the other. And so, she's kind of stubborn. And at some point, she wants to see Geralt before she goes to school. So she like escapes from Yennefer and goes and heads off to where she knows that Geralt is. And then while she's going, she gets near this tower, which is like Tor Lora, Tower of Gulls. And this tower is kind of decrepit, and there is an old portal that was in it that was said like to go somewhere, and the elves had built it, but it's faulty and it was all effed up, and so it was teleporting people in all weird places. The sorcerers shut it down, and they're like, no, because bad stuff is happening when people go through this portal. It just teleports people all willy-nilly. People have died. But she's going by this tower, and this tower has like this weird magical pull. And she starts having these crazy like hallucinations of what are almost, I think, like memories of her being pursued by different things, and then they almost seem like realistic and stuff. And so many things are pursuing her too. And then even like the Wild Hunt. So the Wild Hunt is in this. They return down to the earth from the sky with their skeletal huntsmen and whatnot. And at some point too, they start pursuing her as she's going to Geralt, and she's like 14, so she's like this kid on his horse and is kind of freaking out. And so then Yennefer realizes shortly thereafter that she is missing and comes after her, and so that happens. Then there's this whole thing where all the sorcerers are supposed to meet up, have like, I would call it a powwow. It's like a whole political thing about like the fate of the countries and the lands and all this crap. And then they all basically kind of backstab each other, and then a full-on like battle breaks out between all the sorcerers. And then like at this point, Ciri ends up escaping, and then we don't know what happens to Yennefer, and then Geralt is somewhere over in left field, but it's very chaotic. At one point, Ciri does get caught, but then other stuff happens, and she meets up with this other group, and it's all over the place. It's so like middle of the story and nothing is really concluded in it. I thought it was all right. At some points lagged and dragged because all the political drama and whatnot. The parts I like the most are with Ciri and Geralt and like the battles and the magical elements of it. Not so much like the rich, snobby people at court that want to ruin all our lives. So that part. And, you know, the times we're living into, it probably doesn't help to read stuff about that as well. So overall, I thought it was all right. I'm looking forward to the next book. I really liked the book prior, I think, a lot more. But, you know, you need some of this setup and like for more of a story base and all that. So I'm hoping the other ones like just get more into the action, more into the magical elements. And yeah, of course we're still gonna have political stuff because the whole thing is like a political thing. But where will Ciri go next? I don't know. We're gonna have to get into the next book to find out. And so I plan to read that soonish. I like the writing. I like the characters. I like the whole Witcher story. Love the Witcher video games. Those are super fun. If you've never played it, The Witcher 3, awesome game. You know, there's also Gwent. We won't talk about Gwent. Also, did you know that I stream on Twitch? I do. I stream on Twitch. You can follow me. It's The Simply Sin if you're into video games, or if you just want to come over and chat. I am live every Tuesday from 5 p.m. Eastern time zone till 9 p.m. So come pop in, say, hey, what are you reading? Or tell me what you're reading. We'll hang out, we'll chat. Also, if you've read this Witcher book, what were your thoughts on it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.